Hi everyone, how are you doing? Today we are going to react to myself, and there's a good reason for that. I've seen a lot of people reacting to my videos, and actually all they do is just talk about how much they do like it or how much they do not like what I do, but I still haven't found any video where you can actually see or listen to a deeper analysis of everything that's happening, right? And that makes me a little bit uncomfortable, so for today's video, you and I are going to spend a little bit of time reacting to my drum solo for the 2020 drum off, okay? So with all of that being said, you can find the original video right here, and now let's go with it. Okay, now a lot of people were very rude with me because I started so loud, right? People wanted me to go like... However, they only gave us 3.5 minutes in order to perform the whole solo. So I thought, let's start big. Let's open the door with a chest kick, right? And that is exactly what I did. Now, I played some hits and just threw some single strokes over there, some paradiddles over there. Maybe I do not remember everything, but it was something like this. And that's it, that's the beginning. Hit, 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 chop, chop, chop. Okay, here we are. Now let's go with the whole solo. Okay, so the first 3 groups are very complex groups, but they are there for a reason. I wanted to start with a very hard groove, and I thought of doing some crossovers, okay? They had to be fast, but they had to sound really clean, right? So in the beginning, I thought of doing everything with my double pedal, doing the whole crossover stuff with the same melody that I'm playing, same accent, same everything. So the first idea was something like this. You can play that fast as fuck, and it's going to sound very nice. That was good, that was a good idea, the phrasing was good, the melody was good, everything was fine. However, I had to make everything a little bit more spicy, a little bit more interesting, so I thought, why not use the hi-hat in order to start building all of these grooves? So let me explain how this works. It's very simple. I was going to use the same melody, however, instead of using the left pedal, I was going to use the hi-hat in order to create the whole groove. Instead of going like this, I went like this. Now this is the soft stroke, and here comes the accent. So. Okay, and in order to do that, I needed a very powerful hi-hat, so check that out. I was using a double hi-hat. If you want to get more chick out of your hi-hat, all you have to do is place a little cymbal on top of it. So by using that melody, the groove that in the beginning was played with the double pedal turned out to be something like this. And actually, again, you can play that very fast. By creating the first groove, I realized that I wanted to create a whole drum solo where everything was articulated around that idea, the use of the left foot in order to create both grooves and chops. And then I just started to use different variations, like the one that you hear on the second groove, which is nothing but the original groove, but keeping the hi-hat a little bit more busy, just like this. Now, of course, I don't have the auxiliary hat that I used to have back in the day. However, it may sound different, but it is actually the same group. So let's keep going. Now let's take a closer look into this linear groove, okay? What's really happening in here? Let me tell you one thing. If you play this exact same groove and you remove everything that's happening except the cowbells, of course, you've got two cowbells, the main one right and the auxiliary one left. Let's see what happens. All that you are going to hear is this. And on the second groove, you are going to hear this. Now, why is that interesting? Because they are linear grooves. Yes, they are. But there are 4 patterns that keep happening all over these grooves. I wanted to create something very complex, so I thought, let's use the Latin claves, okay? I wanted to use the 4 claves. 3, 2, rumba, and son, and also 2, 3, rumba, and son. So what I did was, my right hand is playing the son claves. Ta, 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 ta. But my left hand is also playing the accent that would turn the son clave into a rumba clave. Ta, 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 ta. And same thing happens with the 2, 3 clave. So I really liked that idea, and it was a very big challenge because I wanted to create a groove, a very complicated linear groove, but keeping those patterns happening. And if you stop and listen to everything carefully, what you listen constantly are all the claves going on. 3, 2, 2, 3, rumba, son. They keep happening with the cowbells, and everything else is just there to distract you, okay? Everything else is just there in order for you not to know what's happening, but the real thing that's happening is you are witnessing a linear groove, but the main melody that keeps happening are the claves, okay? Check this out. And also 3, 2. Now, I loved that idea. They were very hard to play. Actually, I don't think I can play them as fast as I used to play them because that took a lot of practice, but that was great. And also, there's a little chop in the middle that is a very difficult chop to play. Let's take a closer look. That one, that was very hard. It goes like this. Now, that's an idea that I took from one chop that I really love that goes like this. So I thought, yeah, let's use that in order to change from the 2, 3 claves to the 3, 2 claves. And it really worked. So let's keep watching. Now, that's the main break of the whole solo, okay? There we stop everything, and this is the beat that I use in order to transition. I like those kind of beats. I call them tension beats, because they create a lot of tension without needing to play a lot of notes, okay? So that way you get a break, and you can, I don't know, fix your cymbals, fix your headphones, change your stick. That's something that really should happen in the middle of every solo, okay? It gives you time to operate just in case something goes wrong. This one, as you can see, keeps going around the same idea. Let's use the fucking hi-hat in order to create complex patterns. And right here we are using a group of 4. We start with the bass drum, then we play the hi-hat with the left foot, and then we play a double stroke with our left hand. And our right hand has time to do whatever you want to do. Good idea. It goes like this. And now here comes the hardest part of the whole solo. Okay, so I wanted to use that break in order to build a very complex groove. The initial idea was to play a groove by using the same break, the same tension groove that I have just shown you. However, since it's just a group of 4, it sounded too simple, okay? this is a world tournament. I didn't want to go with that, so I created a pattern that was way harder than that, and it goes like this. Now, that was the whole pattern that was going to keep happening with all my body, like that was the original ostinato. And now, in order to create a couple of grooves, all that was left for me to do was to be able to coordinate that pattern all over again while changing the placement on the snare. On the first part of this groove, I'm playing the snare on the 3, and on the second part, I'm playing the snare on the 2. Check this out. And that's everything that's happening. It's just the same ostinato, but you are changing the placement on the snare. And in the middle, there's just a little lick that goes like this. Everything else is just playing it, which is actually very hard. Very fucked up, but I really enjoyed it. Let's keep going! They're just linear grooves, you know. But I needed something in order to transition, so on the second linear groove I slow down everything and then I change to something a little bit more funky. And here something very weird happens and I need to explain everything because it's impossible to get all the details just by watching it. Check this out. Now, you listen what I said, 6 por 8, that means 6/8, okay? We were playing on a regular 4/4 and suddenly a couple of hertas happened and I changed to a 6/8. Now, this is something that it's not hard to do, but it's very fucking interesting. So let me break it down for you. We have the time on our left leg, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to use this herta phrasing in order to transition to a 6/8 polyrhythm. Check this out, it's not hard at all. Now that was the whole process, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you move to a 6/8, but your tempo is still the same. I'm counting it with my left foot, but something even harder happens right now, and it's very interesting. Check this out. Now, I don't know if you realized, but when I changed to the cowbell, my left foot started to play a 6/8 clave. Okay, you could hear it on this bell right here, and then if you pay close attention, my left foot joins. So the pattern is this. Why should I give a fuck about that? Because we started on a 4/4, then we moved to a 6/8, but it was a polyrhythm. We were still playing the same tempo with our left foot, and then something interesting happened. The left foot started playing a 6/8 clave, so the only thing that was tying us to the 4/4 suddenly disappeared, and we go the fuck away. We go inside that fucking 6/8. But that's not enough. We need something even harder. So what do? Well, now that our whole body is playing on a 6/8, 6/8 clave, 6/8 clave, 6/8 groove, now we are going to transition again to a 4/4 inside this polyrhythm. So while you keep the same 6/8 clave with your left foot, you start playing a 4/4 groove with the rest of your body, and it goes like this. And that was the whole idea. I wanted to start with a 4/4 and then move to a 6/8 while keeping the same tempo that I was keeping on the 4/4 with my left foot, but then I wanted to start a full transition to that 6/8, so I started reproducing the 6/8 clave with my left foot, and then when we were finished with that transition and we were fully engaged on that 6/8 action, I wanted to introduce another polyrhythm, but it was not a polyrhythm, that was the original tempo. So 4/4, 6/8, 4/4, 6/8, 6/8, 4/4, 6/8, and then we needed to go back. So let's see how I did it. I'm still playing a 6/8 here. That was just madness. Okay, the first groove that I'm playing is a classic Spanish groove. I think it's called tumbao or something like that. It's usually used in flamenco and bulerías, and it sounds like this. And I thought, let's keep going with this crazy left foot idea, but now let's use it inside a 6/8. Check this out, they are very easy to play whenever they are played slow, but now that I see the video, I was able to play it really fast. So let's see what happens. So I thought, yes, fuck it, I'm going to use very fast grooves that require a lot of skill with your left foot in order to play them properly. And I think that's how I ended the whole solo, but let's check it out. And then you just chop around in order to end the solo. So yes, this may have been a very boring reaction, but I have always wanted to explain all that was happening on that solo, because I think it's not only hard, but also it's very interesting. Noise, chops and all that shit, but all the linear groups had something. We had the claves, then we had the transitions, the polyrhythms, the use of the hi-hat that kept happening again and again on every single fucking beat, and I guarantee you that is very hard. Try it at home, fucking try it at home. It's unbelievably hard, and also it's very interesting. So there are a lot of interesting concepts that were a very hard challenge for me at that time, but that actually nowadays are still a challenge. So please, again, here's the fucking solo. Watch everything, pay close attention, and if you can find any kind of groove or information or idea that works for you, try to develop it, because I have spent the last 2 years of my life developing the ideas that I presented on that solo. As always, you've got all my merchandising on this link right here. You can get your sticks, your hats, your shirts, your beanies, your hoodies, whatever the fuck you want. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It's been an absolute honor being here recording for all of you, and I really hope to see you all very soon on the next videos. Buddies, stay safe and take care. Cheers.